Okay, so today we're going deep on this YouTube channel called KC Culture Music Studios. And it's kind of wild.
Yeah.
It's not just music. It's like AI art and social commentary and like almost philosophy all kind of like blended together.
Yeah.
In these videos, we've got 3 of them to go through today.
Wow.
And they're all pretty out there.
Sounds fascinating.
Yeah, so like right off the bat, the first video is called A.I Booty, KC Girls Feet, DJ Uganda Jr.
Okay.
And it's got all these like super realistic visuals of, well, you know, booty. And the lyrics are all about how artificial it is.
Interesting.
They're really leaning into it. They have lines like, golden ratio, magic symmetry, so tight, and every pixel in place, watch the booty explode.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, you know, it's like they're playing with that uncanny valley thing.
Right, yeah. Playing with that, like, almost real, but not quite.
Yeah.
It's a cool way to make you think about, like, how AI is changing what we think is beautiful.
Yeah, and like what's real, too.
Totally. Like, are we going to start expecting everyone to look like that, or...
Yeah, or are we going to get to a point where we can't even tell what's real anymore?
It's a little scary when you think about it.
For sure. Okay, so then the second video is called Derpzilla, Kaiju of Corrections, Goth Metal Carry, Fee-I-E.
Okay, a little different vibe there.
Total shift in gears.
Yeah.
This one's about a giant monster like Godzilla.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's called Derpzilla. And he's like fighting against corporations and greed and all that.
So it's like a social commentary kind of thing?
Exactly. Like they took the whole kaiju monster movie thing and made it about modern anxieties.
Oh, that's interesting. Like Godzilla was all about nuclear fear back in the day.
Right, exactly. And now it's like we're scared of corporations taking over.
Right, makes sense.
And the lyrics are really direct about it too. Like they say, in the world of the corporate GI, are you the saint dream? But they need saint, all the nature side scream.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty pointed.
Yeah. And then there's another line that says, challenge the life that humanity keep with those signs and bray.
Like they're not holding back at all.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it makes you think about like, who are these artists?
Right. What are they trying to say?
Yeah. Are they trying to like start a revolution or just make us think?
Yeah. Good question. All right. What about this third video?
Okay. So this one is called The Creator, Dr. Tetsuo Kusanagi Channel Trailer, 2024 AI.
Okay. That sounds pretty high tech.
It is. It's like a trailer for future content on their channel.
Huh. Interesting. So like a preview of what's to come.
Yeah, and it introduces this character, Dr. Kusanagi.
Okay.
And he's like this mysterious figure who's described as repairing the timeline.
Repairing the timeline? What does that even mean?
I know, right? It's like giving me some serious metaverse vibes.
Yeah. It's like, is he manipulating history or something?
Yeah, or like creating a new one.
It's trippy.
Right. And then the trailer mentions all this other stuff like more high-quality AI short films and the next evolution of Kai girls and A.I Cleavage.
Oh, wow.
And then it says something about videos about the simulation theory and the Copenhagen school.
Okay, now we're getting into some deep stuff.
I know, right? So what do you think all that means?
Well, the repairing the timeline thing is really throwing me for a loop.
Me too.
It's like, is he curating specific narratives or like shaping online realities to fit a certain worldview?
Like who decides what the right history is?
Yeah, that's a good question. And it's not just theoretical anymore, you know?
Right.
We've got deepfakes and social media algorithms that are already messing with what we see and believe.
It's like the line between real and fake is getting blurrier every day.
Exactly. And then this next evolution of Kai girls and AI cleavage thing.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what to make of that.
It seems like they're pushing the limits with AI-generated imagery.
Oh, for sure.
Like maybe exploring the connection between technology and sexuality.
That's a whole other can of worms.
It is, but it's definitely intriguing.
And then there's the simulation theory and the Copenhagen school. Like, how does that all fit in?
Okay, so the simulation theory basically says that our reality is like a giant computer program.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
So it makes you wonder if this Dr. Kusanagi is like messing with the code of our reality.
Whoa, that's a mind bender.
It is. And then the Copenhagen school is all about how the observer affects reality in quantum mechanics.
Okay, I'm following you.
So like maybe Dr. Kusanagi is the ultimate observer shaping reality just by creating things.
So he's not just creating content, he's creating reality.
Potentially.
Yeah.
That's a lot to process.
It is, and I think that's what makes this channel so fascinating.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to tackle these big mind-blowing ideas.
And they're doing it in a way that's entertaining and thought-provoking.
Exactly. They're not getting bogged down in jargon or anything.
Right. It's like they're using humor and music to make these complex ideas more accessible.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they're not telling us what to think?
Yeah, they're just throwing these ideas out there and letting us figure it out.
Exactly. It's like, here's some food for thought. Now go chew on it for a while. I like that. So for our listeners out there, what are your initial thoughts on all this?
Yeah.
Does the idea of AI-generated content and a potential metaverse and someone repairing the timeline intrigue you or worry you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's all just entertainment, or is there something deeper going on?
Good question.
It's definitely a lot to unpack. It's a lot to think about, for sure.
It is. Like, it makes you wonder about the power of AI, you know, not just to make stuff, but like to actually control what we see and what we believe.
It's kind of scary when you put it like that.
Yeah, and it's not just some far-off future thing either. Like, we're already seeing it happen with deepfakes and those algorithms that choose what shows up on our feeds.
Yeah, it's like the line between what's real and what's fake is getting thinner and thinner all the time.
Right, and then there's that whole thing in the trailer about the next evolution of Kai girls and A.I Cleavage.
Yeah, well, what is that even supposed to mean?
I don't know, but it sounds like they're going to keep pushing the limits of what you can do with AI images.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely not afraid to experiment.
It's like they're exploring the connection between technology and, you know, sexuality and stuff.
Yeah, and that's a whole other conversation we could have.
Totally. A whole other deep dive right there.
So they also mentioned the simulation theory and the Copenhagen School
Right.
in that trailer.
Right.
I'm kind of familiar with those, but I'd love to hear your take on, like, how they fit into all this.
Okay, so the simulation theory basically says that our whole reality is just like a big computer program.
Oh, yeah, that one's a classic.
It is.
Yeah.
So when you think about this Dr. Kusanagi guy and how he's like repairing the timeline, it makes you wonder if he's like hacking the code of our reality.
Whoa, that's trippy.
Yeah, it's a wild thought.
It is. So what about the Copenhagen School? How does that fit in?
Well, the Copenhagen interpretation is all about how the observer changes reality, you know, in quantum mechanics.
Okay, I'm following.
So maybe Dr. Kusanagi is like the ultimate observer. He's shaping reality just by creating stuff.
So it's not just about the content itself. It's about who's creating it and how that changes things.
Right, exactly. It's like the act of creation is actually changing reality.
That's heavy stuff.
It is, and I think that's what makes this channel so cool.
Yeah.
They're not shying away from these big ideas.
Right. And they're doing it in a way that makes you want to keep watching.
Yeah, they're making it fun and engaging.
Right. It's like they're using humor and music to sneak in these really complex ideas.
Totally. And they're not telling us what to think.
Yeah, they're just presenting the ideas and letting us figure it out for ourselves.
Exactly. It's like they're saying, here's something to think about now, and go and like ponder it for a while.
I love that.
Yeah.
So for our listeners, what are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Are you intrigued by this idea of AI-generated content and a potential metaverse and someone repairing the timeline?
Or does it freak you out a little?
Is it just entertainment, or is something bigger going on here?
Yeah, let us know.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
We started with AI booties, and now we're talking about like the nature of reality.
I know, it's kind of a wild ride.
It really is. So where do you think this channel goes from here?
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine.
Like, are they going to make more of those AI music videos, or are they going to dive deeper into this Dr. Kusanagi stuff?
I mean, they said they're going to release more short films and talk more about the simulation theory and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And what about the whole next evolution of Kai girls and AI cleavage thing?
I have no idea what that's about, but I'm definitely curious.
Me too. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's part of the fun though, right?
Totally. They're keeping us on our toes.
It's like they've created this whole world that's both familiar and totally strange.
Yeah, and they're inviting us to explore it with them.
I think in a world where everything's so like predictable and over-explained, it's kind of refreshing to find something that just makes you think.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's like they're not afraid to ask the big questions.
Exactly, and they're not giving us the answers either.
Which is good. Makes you actually use your brain.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this. What does that even mean to repair the timeline?
Yeah, especially in a world where reality is getting harder and harder to define.
Like, what happens when we can't tell the difference between truth and fiction anymore?
Big questions, guys.
Yeah.
Big questions.
And that's what makes this channel so interesting. They're forcing us to confront those questions head on.
So until next time, keep those questions in mind and keep exploring.
And keep an eye on KC Culture Music Studios. You never know what they'll come up with next.
Thanks for joining us on this journey, and until next time,
Let's go. This is your radio. Your station.